Good evening. Can I hear you? My name is Chris Budnick, and I want to welcome you to our holiday open house / transition ceremony. There's a lot happening tonight. There's a lot of things I'll forget to say, but the first thing that I want to say is that tonight is a night entirely of celebrations. I've told the staff that we would work on doing a lot of preparation, and then once we got here, we would just enjoy. Okay. So a few things that I want to do to start off is I want to acknowledge a few folks. One, I want to acknowledge if Commissioner Vicki Adamson is still here. If not, she came here to the holiday open house, and we want to thank the support from our public elected officials. Also, our newly elected Sheriff Willie Rowe was here, and thank him for coming out. And Raleigh City Council member Stormy Ford indicated that she is unable to make it, but she wants to say thanks for serving the community. So we're very appreciative of the support that the community provides. Now, more directly, I want to thank our board of directors and board of trustees. If you are here, could you please stand so we could help thank you for your service. Part of why we do this and kind of recognize folks is so that we can create an opportunity for people to see one another. People do not always see the folks who are behind the scenes working on raising money, raising awareness, and so forth. And conversely, the people who are out there doing that don't always see what's happening with the folks on the front lines. And I want to say that it feels like every year is fraught with new opportunities and new challenges. And I just want to give a little context around this. And I want to, again, extend thanks and appreciation to both the staff, those who are on the front lines, as well as the participants. So this has been another challenging year. You know, we had COVID start in 2020 and continue in 2021. And this year, we have just seen outrageous numbers in terms of people seeking help. And the staff has really accommodated a lot. So last year, we served 1,800 individuals between our two campuses, and that doesn't include the outreach that's done or the rapid responder program. And through November 30th, we were already at over 2,500 individuals. So we're on pace to be around just under 2,800 individuals served this year. Our men's detox did 1,945 detox admissions in 2021. And through November 30th, they've done 3,024 detox admissions in the men's. Okay. So there's a great unmet need. And at the women's campus, I want to say hello to all the women who are joining us. The women's campus has been picking up a heavy load for unsheltered single women. We originally started off with 14 beds for unsheltered women, and then we increased it to 20, and then we found 7 more beds, and we've been averaging, we had one night with 57 women trying to get shelter out of the element. So this is, you know, it's a lot of fish in the fishbowl. And so for the staff and participants who make the accommodations so that folks are able to be protected from the elements and have a chance to potentially make a transformation in their life. Thank you for your hard work and your service. And for the people who are out there supporting us, thank you for your continued support in making the mission that we do possible. If you've seen our end of year campaign, it's really, the theme of it is really around taking care of our employees and striving to continue to be a living wage organization. We had a significant milestone this year as the organization has grown. We got about 74, I think maybe just today, our 75th employee and 81% of our employees are former participants. Not everyone's graduated or silver chip, but 81% are former participants, or as I like to say, they're alumni of the program because they've been here. And with that, we want to have a living wage for staff to be aligned with what our values and our mission is. We want to pay those who are formerly homeless and who are in recovery a wage that they can afford to live on in Wake County and in the city of Raleigh. So thank you for all those who helped to make that possible. A round of applause for the staff and participants, specifically for today, for all their hard work in getting this done. All right, next, I have some high hopes. I don't know if they'll be actualized or not, but the last ceremony we had at the women's campus, one of the guests who attended said, this had as much energy as a college football game. And this guy went to Clemson. The men's campus is historically not like the women's campus, but what are we here to do tonight? Celebrate. We're here to celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate tonight, right? Long year, hard year, people are still suffering, people are still struggling, other people are thriving and hitting new milestones and opportunities. For all the stress that people have been dealing with for the next 90 minutes, we're here to celebrate. I want to acknowledge Wendy White, our Director of Development, who has been working really hard. She has two asks from our supporters. One is always financial supports to support bringing people for tours to raise awareness. And if you can't do either of those, she's looking to add a couple hours to the day and a couple days to the week so she can get more done. So if you can help with any of those, it'll actually, by having more hours in the day and days in the week, it'll give her some time to rest. Okay, I have forgotten some things probably, but I'm going to turn it over. We are thrilled to start off with acknowledging our silver chippers. And what's different about tonight is when COVID happened, ceremonies got way out of whack. And so we've got some people who silver chipped a while ago who are finally going to be able to be in a ceremony. And we got some jokers and knuckleheads who just recently silver chipped and hit a pretty significant milestone for our organization. But without further ado, am I missing anything? William Dickens, silver chipper number 133. All right.
Now we're gonna try to get this party started right. I don't party no more, but I remember how to party. What we want to do, y'all, the last ceremony, as Chris said, over there at the women's facility, I'm telling you, you can hear them outside the building. And we got a lot more guys. We know y'all guys are kind of laid back, especially Mets, your new Big Sid in the house. So what we're going to try to do tonight is, for the first time, give y'all the opportunity to just, I ain't going to say go buck wow. I mean, you know, come on, help us out now, because this is celebration. How would you be celebrating if you were still out there drinking and drugging and all of that? So for y'all that's here and got one day of recovery, because I'm going to probably get a horse after a while, and I'll get John to take over. How about act like you are glad that a place like Healing Transitions exists? Like we're in a little celebration. because, you know, just me, I'm a spiritual man. But I do know one thing. I could have been dead and gone if it wasn't for a place like this. Allowing me to come here just one time. I'm telling you, it's powerful, y'all. What's going on at these two facilities is powerful. And the thing about it, when they bring me up here to the mic, I can talk. But when I think about what I used to be and what I used to be doing, but it's y'all show tonight. I'm gonna let y'all have it. But just when I think about the board of directors, Fred Barber, them all, I call them the big three, that went out and found a place like this and brought it back here to help us addicts and alcoholics, I can't be nothing but grateful and happy. See, I'm happy for you. That's what I learned in recovery. See, I'm happy that by the grace of God, I got 22 years. But I'm glad you only got one. Turn it up, turn it up. And I speak to turn it up, I better lighten up a little bit. I don't want to forget. So, but these guys, wait back, Tracy. If I get Tracy's thumb up, I'm doing all right. But these new guys gonna be getting tonight, these alumni, they're gonna be getting them adapted. On one side it says, I'm so happy I didn't even wear my glasses. Do I have them? How many pairs do I have? Right, Fred said, you're right. There go one. So I decide which one I want to use. On one side it says, Healing Transitions of Raleigh. On the other side, it says, I am responsible, one day at a time, an alumni. Now, I might as well go and get this out the way. I want to invite anybody in here, especially alumni, to become a change maker. And today, I went in there and I told them I want to up my little ante as a change. And a change maker donates and give a little something back out of their paycheck. I'm really speaking to alumni. I let women speak to the rest of y'all. I'm on these alumni to talk about how much you love Healing Transitions and you want to thank them for what they done. Well, the best way to thank them is give some money back. Because I found out, wait a minute, where my notes at? Right now, it costs $58 a night to stay. So I just want y'all to remember that when you hear me say how many days somebody was here, and that will tell you, if you're not a change maker, how much money you owe us. And we want it. Pay for some night for somebody else, like somebody paid for a night for you. We're talking about step work. Is that a good enough window? I need to turn it up some more. Turn it up some more, I'll do it. I mean, we said we love this place, right? Well, sure. Don't just be a talker, be a doer. All right. So the first new alumni we're going to be recognizing tonight, I'm already about horse, but I'll tell you, John, you got my back, ain't you? Oh, yeah. Where's John? Okay. It's Mr. Dale Jenkins. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk to Dale because I don't like to do a lot of preparing. I just like to roll. Now, Dale, I thank Silver Chip, the program, and Richard. But one thing I will say about this guy, if you really want to hear recovery dynamics talk and talk by the book like it's supposed to be, if he come to teach a class, I would advise y'all to pay attention that's in the class. Because this man gonna stay with the book and he gonna break it down like it's supposed to be broken down. Only thing I don't understand how he came through here and didn't get much help out of it, because, you know, we about helping people around here. But I will say he was here a total of 203 days. So if he multiply that by 50 days, you're already a change maker. You're not? Oh, you shouldn't have said that. We going to the next person. Y'all got to laugh, dog. Even if it ain't funny, act like it's funny. Help me laugh at it. As a matter of fact, I got to say this thing. I think, Chris, you told me that it was a lady at the women's facility. Before she even transitioned out, she became a change maker. Before she even transitioned out of the facility, she became a change maker. Now that's the dedication we talked about. Men. You said it. Well, come on up, Dale. Dale is number 7, chip number 9.
Good evening, family. First and foremost, I want to express how extremely grateful I am for the grace and mercy of a loving God, the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and of course, the Healing Transitions, for loving me, caring for me, and pushing me to make a change and to do something different. And I have to tell you, without those 3 things, I would not and could not be able to be standing up here tonight and sharing with you a little bit about myself. So I know there's a whole lot going on tonight, so I'm gonna try to keep this brief. November 14th of 2019, the pain finally got great enough and I made a decision to climb out from underneath the rock that I was living on. A rock that was weighed down by shame, guilt, and remorse, and a whole lot of other stuff. So I went into detox in the healing place in Richmond, Virginia. And I was there for a couple of days. And the program director came to me and said, Dale, even though you are an alumni of this program, we are packed fire marshal capacity. If you come back in a couple of weeks, we might be able to do something for you. I'm gonna tell you, as soon as he said that, I knew if I walk out of this building and I gotta wait 2 weeks, I'm not gonna make it. All right. So I prayed and I asked God for direction. And I gotta tell you, I called my daughter, right? And first I gotta tell you, this is a daughter that several months before this happened told me, Dad, you can't come around the kids. You can't come around here. We cannot see you in this kind of shape. I'm not gonna expose my kids to that. And I respect her for that 100%. An excellent mother, an excellent protector and provider. And she did the right thing by telling me that. So I told her, I said, I'm not sure where this place is, but there's a place in Raleigh, North Carolina called the Healing Place of Wake County, right? And I need help, I need a bus ticket. And real quick, she said, I'll get you a bus ticket, but I ain't giving you no money. I got it. You know, that's all I wanted was a bus ticket. So I got on the bus and I got up here at the bus station on Capitol Boulevard. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I started walking. I asked for directions to get here and I started walking. I walked all the way from the bus station all the way down to South Street. And a police officer pulled over and said, Sir, where are you going this time of night? I said, I need to get to the Healing Place of Wake County. He said, you mean the Healing Transition? I said, yes. He said, get in, I got you. And I'll never forget this. I got here and a man came to the door. He was every bit of 6 foot 100. I mean, tall, and he had suspenders on, right? And he came to the door and I wasn't expecting this, but he says, hey, buddy. He said, come on in, we got you. And look, I ain't lying. On that walk, I was dope sick. I had squirrels running around in my head. I mean, I was going through it. And when that man came to the door and he said, hey, buddy, come on in. Came in, we sat down, and I'll never forget that, Alan. I never will. We sat down and we went over some paperwork and we talked about some things. And he assigned me to bed 18. I will never forget that. The night that I laid my head down on bed 18, man, my body and my spirit just screamed, safe. Safe. And I have to share this too. A brother in this program that I became real close with, I'll never forget it. The first couple of hours that I was here, he was working security. He was in CTR 1. And it was cold outside. I mean, it was cold. And I was sitting out there with smocks and a t-shirt, smoking one cigarette after another. And this brother's Scotty B stood out there for 2 hours talking to me, freezing cold, wouldn't leave my side. He shared with me about the program. He shared with me, you know, what goes on here. And I was truly grateful for that, man. I really was. So I went through the program and, you know, there were a lot of brothers here that I established a relationship with that I still have today. And I love and care about them very much. You know, I'm truly extremely grateful for them. So anyway, I just want to say that for the brothers that are here in the program, and I'm also grateful for the people that support this place. They give all that they do, the donations, the support, the help. We couldn't do it without you. I'm truly grateful for that. But I want to say this, I'm going to sit down because I know we got a lot going on. For the brothers that are in this program, it's a blessing that you are here. It's God-given that you have this opportunity to change and to do something different. And take every bit of it that you can. But I want to express to you this one thing. What's most important, what's really most important is when you leave here, that you take the things that you have been taught, take the things and the tools that have been laid at your feet and apply them in your life. Because coming back and coming back and coming back again is a real painful thing. I've been to a few treatment centers and I've relapsed a few times. That doesn't have to be your story. Just stick and stay, do what is suggested. Trust God, continue to clean house, and help someone. Thank you.
Y'all getting better. We trying to get it hyped up, because I know when Liam come up here, we gonna hype it up real high. We gonna move on. And that'll probably get me tomorrow for not staying directly with this program. But I'm going now. Because the board of directors are here. If I do something wrong, y'all don't fight me tonight because I got the board. I just got to take 1 minute, and I'm going to get right back to this program and recognize Lynn and Sandy. I know I was looking for y'all, and y'all made it in. I just love y'all so much. And I'm going to get back to the program, but I'm telling y'all, that's what I'm saying about people, staff here, not only the staff, the board of directors, that do things to help us, y'all, get our lives back together. Because one of the group sessions talks about our society and how society looks at us. And a lot of people don't want us around. But some people will give us an opportunity to try all over again. Amen. That's something to be grateful for right there. If you can't find that, that's to be grateful for. And somebody gave you another chance. Man, I wonder why I was so nervous. Now I know. Lynn will come in. This next guy we're going to be recognizing is Mr. Kellen Mike. Yeah! Hey guys, come through this program. We got a thing we call sliding under the radar. And sometimes I don't get to deal with them every day, but in the end, when we look in these folders and start looking back at some of the help that they received, but they are actions, because we learn here what, gentlemen, that drugs and alcohol is only a symbol of the problem. So if you don't address them attitudes and behaviors that were just talked about, the same man will drink again. That's what the book said. And you can consider a lady into that too. All right. Kelly Meyer arrived at Healing Transition 5/25/2019. When he made it into CTR1, which is called committed to the program, that's why I call it, we address attitudes and behaviors, and we separate Some of the help he received from his peers was not the help, but some of his actions for not doing what he was supposed to do was not picking up detox. Because in CTR1, they're supposed to go pick up detox and take them to meetings, take them to lunch, take them to dinner. So he chose not to do that. Poor job performance 3 times. That means something you assigned to do around here. Because don't y'all think these guys just get up in the morning, don't do nothing. They got chores to do. So evidently, 3 times he decided he did it, or he didn't do it, or he didn't do it right. Retaliation. That kind of throws me off now. Am I talking about you, man? Oh, no, this was in your folder now. Somebody must have lied on me. I was really surprised. They said you even had an inappropriate comment. I was really surprised, man. Ain't you telling Mike? Overspending on your budget sheet. Oh, okay, it's all right. Look, we didn't say none of us come in here perfect, but we come in here to do some work. So some of the help he received from his peers was to complete 2 hall chores for not doing that right. A step-up band. He must have been volunteering a lot. Somebody lied on you if this ain't you, man. Right on what I could have done differently. It might have been that inappropriate comment. Teach a 3 p.m. class on people pleasing. You know anything about that? Okay, so I ain't wrong all the way. I ain't got you mixed up with Liam, have I? Definition on each Enoch: self-will, entitlement, greed, humility. Calvin was here a total of 458 days. Now, y'all remember how much I said it cost to stay here. I hope he's the change maker. Ah, you heard it? All right. So I can't say nothing else about it. He attended over 501 meetings. Please help me welcome Silver Chip alumni 924, Mr. Kelly Martin.
Hey, for 3 of the ladies, we got seats up here. Come on up. 3 ladies, we got seats up here.
About time, Kelly.
You're right. You're right. You know what? Like he said, it's been a long time coming. I left this place in 2020, right? Got here in 2019, and when I first got here, I think I was just looking for love. I was trying to find a way to love myself, because all the things I did while I was using, and you know, I had no self-respect, no self-love, and when I asked for help, you know, my uncle, who's an alumni of this program, he was like, well, I know a place, but you gotta really want the help. You gotta want it. I was like, okay. He brought me to detox. And, you know, it's funny because I'm from Raleigh and I never knew this place existed. I spent 23 years of my life drinking and using, looking for something, not knowing this place is right here. And when I got here, like Dale said, it was just like this overwhelming peace. This overwhelming peace that came over me. And you know, I still didn't know if I wanted to do the program, but I remember what my uncle said. He was like, when you got these doubts in your head, when you feel like you want to leave, just stay. And he told me about this man that worked at the shelter, Mr. Raper. They're real friends, they're real close friends, they said close to each other, you know. I know Rachel was going back telling him how I was doing, what I was doing and everything. But he said, I got eyes on you. I got eyes on you. And you know what? I'm so grateful that, you know, I decided to stay here, that I had the people watching out, people that I didn't even know, watching out for me. People that I met in the program then. He came shortly after me when I first got here. You know, we clicked. Felix, he was here when I got here. We clicked. And, you know, it gave me an opportunity to get away from everything that I was trying to run away from. It gave me an opportunity to sit here and to find out about Kellen, to find out what made Kellen tick at that time. You know, find out what Kellen was capable of doing. You know, some of those things that he read off, I don't remember doing. But it's there, so I probably did it. Some of the things I know I did it because I'm still working on it. But you know, I'm so grateful for this place. Grateful for the opportunity to be able to do what I loved while I was in this place, which is cook. I was training in the kitchen for about 5 months, and you know, it just gave me an opportunity to grow in so many different ways. Another thing that Dale said is when you leave this place, you know, make sure you put it into practice. And I also have the story when I left this place, I thought I had it. I thought I would deserve something, and I went back out and I used it before I can have my ceremony. And you know what? I thank God that He gave me that moment of clarity to be like, this is not the way I'm supposed to be living. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. That moment of peace, I need that back. Ask for help. And I was able to do that. I was able to ask my sponsor, and he directed me and what I needed to do. And this was during the pandemic. Before I went back out, I would be on Zoom and I'd be like, I don't see how these people that's just coming in are gonna get sober without going into meetings and being close to people. But I had to do that, and I did it. I came back, I did what I was supposed to do, and almost 2 years later, I'm standing here now, sober, able to do things with my family, able to help people, genuinely. And you know, I'm so forever grateful for this place and all the things that they've taught me. And for everybody who's here, all the new guys, we fall, but we get back up. We fall, but we get back up. Move forward. Don't think that you can't move forward, or don't think that you cannot grow from the things that happen in your life. Everything happens for a reason. Use it as a lesson and learn from it. Thank you.
Aren't y'all glad it's a place where as many times as it takes, that's one of the guiding principles here, as many times as it takes, because we're dealing with a disease, y'all. And that's what we teach it. We're dealing with a disease. And if it go untreated, what can happen? But we still don't turn our back on it. We still open up, because once you become part of this family, you part of the family. Only sad part that scares me now, y'all, with what's going on out there, people are dying. So thank you, Kelly, coming back. Give me that. That's powerful, because I know some people that didn't make it back. All right, the next silver chipper new alumni we're going to be recognizing. Come on now. 1,000.
It's coming. It's
Yeah. It's a line.
Right. It's a big moment, y'all. Championship for number 1,000. Good night. What do you think about that? Championship for number 1,000. They ought to be around.
And Paul, this is not attention for you. This is celebrating 1,000 men who silver chip. Evelyn Barber, you remember when Fred was worried that nobody was going to show up here after those first few days when we didn't have anyone.
You guys proved him wrong.
History.
Silver chipper number 1,000. We celebrating all silver chippers. I'm telling you, I'm proud of my number 133. I'm proud of number, who, Wes? Number 3. Powerful, y'all. When I first got here, they said, get with the winners. Get with them horses. Grab hold of them guys that's doing the deal. Him and one we're going to recognize a little bit later on. I grabbed hold of them because I trusted their faith when I didn't have none. And that's all right. We're going to move on. The next guy we're going to be recognizing is Mr. Paul Baker.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. You might be silver chipper number 1,000, but I hope you become a change maker if you are not. Do y'all remember I told y'all, and I'm bored, help to work with me now. I am telling y'all, we supposed to give back. That's what we say. So I want y'all to hear when I say how many days a person was here. And I'm just talking about the men. I ain't even talking about the women. I got to keep saying it. And that's why I went in there and upped my little money today so I could come out here and talk freely. You said something, I said, well, I don't up mine. If you get more, I got to up it a little bit more so I can keep talking trash. I want you to know how many days, how much did I say it costs to stay here? Yeah. Let me get to that point, how many days you were here. Anyway, Paul first engaged with us in 2006, and as something we said earlier, as many times as it takes, well, things didn't work out for Paul, so he left. By the grace of God, he made it back. So Paul first engaged with us in 2006. He left and returned in 2021 to finish what he had started. He got received some help for some concerns of his, plus PJP not following the guidelines 3 times. And I think it was some else, other stuff that you got by with us and we didn't get you. One of them is the help you received was 1,000 words on my ego is the cause of my entitlement. T group leader for 1 month. That means that you were responsible for making sure the guys got out the Met too. B&G cleanup after visitation. Y'all listen, y'all know that means something. Y'all ladies from HD, catch them now. 1,000 words on why I should check my disease. Sit with 2 Met 2s and go over the guidelines. Must want to have a lot of self-will. 1,000 words on God's will versus self-will. Paul attended over 482 meetings, but he was here 403 days. I got to say it loud, because I want it to be known. At $58 a night. We got to become change makers, y'all. Look, please don't get upset with me, but look, y'all, we trying to expand. We need help. You know, we got to help the new guys that's coming in here. So even if it sounds like I'm joking, I'm serious about this change maker thing. We as alumni need to raise some money. Not for staff, but for to help this place keep going. Come on up here, Paul.
I'm glad we're having a good time. I've got some stuff here that's going to be pretty fun for some of y'all too. So just wait. But first, I want to thank God, love the God that I found and have a relationship with today, and I'll continue to try to grow that relationship. This place here helped me get quiet, sit down, and listen. So a lot of my recovery was introduced first at this place in 2006, right there. That scared semi-young man with a little bit of hair left. But yeah, a lot of people say, "Hey man, congratulations, number 1,000." Why is 1,000 special? I did some research.
I know you did.
I found a couple things that I just want to share with everybody. There wasn't a lot, so I kind of made my own up too. But in the Bible, it talks about Samson. It says, "With the donkey's jawbone, I have made donkeys of them. With the donkey's jawbone, I've killed 1,000 men." That sounds like a John Hubbard story. John Hubbard, if y'all don't know John Hubbard's ex-military, there was a story about he threw a grenade that killed 1,000 men. The grenade went off and he killed 30 more. 1,000. The amount of days it felt like that I was here. 1,000. The amount of days William Gallas Bechtel is actually probably my favorite person here, Kurt Long. 1,000. Kurt Long definitely kept my spirit up with a number of jokes. He's told me thousands of them. Some of them the same one over and over. I laugh every time. 1,000. saw him earlier. Where's he at? Felix Pluto, where are you at? There he is. 1,000, the number of words Felix can put together in one sentence. 1,000. The number of times Marcus Payton was told to put away his harmonica before. Chris Butner. Number of times I played Chris Butnick in ping pong was about 1,000.
How many times you win?
I won 3. Where's Benzo at? Raise your hand, Benzo. Did you know that there's 1,000 grains in a kilo? You know how many grains are in a gram? 15.432. Touch my phone. 1,000. The number of times Marlon Pugh said, "You know what I'm talking about?" 5 was the actual amount that I didn't know. 1,000. What it's like for us in the amount of days when we're in the presence of God, and 1 in His time. The last one I'll do about me, that was 2006. There's about 1,000 hairs left on that head. So I'm gonna cut y'all, I gotta cut me too. So there we go. All right, but I'm gonna get serious for a minute. Thank you for being a good sport, everybody. Dallas, is Gal still here? Also, Mr. Dickens, 1,000. The number of things I learned from you. So thank you very much. How many I applied? Probably 2. Here's another glass for you. All right, so on page 17 in our big book of AA, it talks about fellowship. It speaks about a group of people that wouldn't normally mix. It talks about how there exists fellowship of friendliness, understanding, which is indescribably wonderful. It likens us to passions of a great liner that have survived just a moment after rescue. What our camaraderie is like. Our joy and escape from disasters does not subside and go our separate ways. Sharing in that common peril is one element in a powerful cement, which we are now joined. I think about this place and in 2006, I was drowning, struggling. I'm thankful that there is this place here, right? This place is like the island that drops you off after you get rescued from the boat. It gave me time to think, gave me time to get myself together, kind of. It gave me some time to put a plan together, which was destroyed. And it gave me time to meet all these wonderful people in this room. I look around this room and I have intimate stories with a lot of you in this room. Some of you I know personally, some of you I have yet to meet. But I was brought here each time, once in 2006 and once last year. I was always brought here. People brought me here. Michael Webb, I know he's probably watching, dropped me off here in 2006. This time, Jamie Tabor, Dana Millbrooks, Trudy, Jeff. So thank you for being there for me when I needed you guys the most. So now that I'm on the island, I think about, I think about this place and how there's lots of different jobs that go on behind the scenes that I wasn't aware of, whether it's rapid response, money and donation, intake. Jamie Elk, where's Jamie Elk at? When Jamie took me into it to do intake, and that was an interesting position where people would call, mothers would call, and they would beg some of them to get in here. And we either had room or we didn't. We tried the best we could with what we had. But I was amazed at all the effort that goes into, I thought I just showed up here when I got here. And when I got to that side of a commitment in the planning room, I learned that wasn't the case. There was a lot of different things happened for me before I got here. So now that I have some time, I think, what am I going to do after I get off this island, right? I think it's, what's it say on the back of the chip here, Mr. Dickens? I am responsible.
That's right, a couple of changes.
But I think I am responsible, not financially. What I want to say is there's different positions we could take, right? There's people that build ships, people that work on ships. We have detox staff. Thank you to detox staff. Numerous ways that we could help and serve other people. And that's probably the biggest part where I'm at right now in the 12-step work, trying to work with others. So I encourage you, if you're here, you belong here. You're not here by mistake. I hated it when I was here. I hated it the first day. I hated it not all the time, but most of the time. But I have that camaraderie. The book talks about the fellowship, the peace and the joy and serenity that I'm searching for. Doesn't seem that far away on the grass. Seems like an actual reality this time. So if you're here, do some work, take some time, chill, work on yourself. And I like what Dale said, trust God, clean house, and help others. Thank you.
All right. Participants, y'all doing a lot of moving around. Doing a lot of moving around, gentlemen. You're not a guest. You need to keep your seat. We still do things a certain way. All right, and let me back up a minute because I don't want nobody to get this twisted. When I invite you to become a change maker, Ms. Wendy told me any amount here. So you can start out being a change maker at $5, $10. It don't have to be big money. I don't want to give you an escape or way out. That's exactly right. I am responsible. Next new alumni we're going to be recognizing. This guy right here, I tell you right here, he is the life of a park. He really knew how to crank some things up, and while he was here, what little time he had been gone, really missing, because when it comes to raising the level of participation in things, I mean, he's just a master at it. It's just in his heart to do it. And things that you do from the heart, you don't have to plan them. You can just do them. And I love that about this brother. I love all of y'all. But some guys are a little quieter, but this guy here, he just knows how to crank some things up. But he had multiple engagements before he decided that he was ready to come into the program and just go head on and do it right. So he had one thing I do think about Mr. Lynn, and that is he was so good in the community process, he scared the guys off. He was active in that now, and I think guys were scared to say anything too. But anyway, while here, only help he received was 3 poor job performances and 2 times not following the guidelines. Some of the help he received was interview 2 met ones, a salary roster check. That means he had to go to all of his peers and not talk, let them do the talking, and he do the listening. I know that was hard. 2 detox cleanups, teach a 3 p.m. class on etiquette, which I think he probably did a good job. Some of these guys are former peer mentors, and they taught the recovery dynamics that was so freely taught to them. And his last help he received, I don't understand this, but it said, we got some cats around here. One of them is named Chester. It said, pet Chester the cat for 30 seconds. I don't know what he did to get that. So please help me welcome Silver Chip alumni number 102, Mr. Leonard.
This was definitely not a solo project, so I want y'all to give yourselves a hand because I couldn't have been I came here in 2019, right? And I was so eager to leave and just to have everything back, to get a job. And I left and I immediately started to watch myself fall apart. And I had to go get some yets because we talk about yets in here. Like I hadn't done this yet. I hadn't had a felony yet. I hadn't spent time in jail yet. And I went back and I filled all those yets. But it's like a gravitational pull that this place has, right? Although it's definitely not the easiest thing to do, I just knew that I would be safe here, you know, and I came back and Mr. Dickens, I didn't get a lot of help because I didn't want to die. I knew if I didn't sit here, now mind you, he don't have in there that my first 2 weeks here, I was on overnight. My first 2 weeks here, I had to drag around my luggage. I got off overnight and 2 days later got put back on overnight. So I came in and I came in kicking and screaming, but when I sat down and realized that it was my own fault, it was because of everything that I've done, not anybody else, because I blamed a lot of people for my circumstances. I blamed a lot of people. And after that, I did what Mr. Rafer said, find the winners, ride their coattail, and if they call it clicking up, click clap. And that's what I did. Like, I got like friends, like lifetime friends. Like Felix was here in 2019 with me and Kellen, and Felix, I knew Felix was going to be the one to get me in trouble. And I almost got in trouble. But I spent a lot of time here growing, and it's something when somebody else can tell you, they see that you're growing, but when you can sit back and watch your own growth happen live and in living color, it's the most beautiful thing, man. Like I've never knew that I could grow so much. Like I'm almost 38 years old, right? So like I grew more. I'm not 28. All right, the gig is out. So I grew a whole lot. Like the best decision I think I made in this program is becoming a kitchen trainee.
like, we were a family. And when we wasn't getting along, DJ walked in the kitchen and he was like, get out. He was like, all of y'all, get out. I mean it, get out. And he told us, don't come back till y'all figure it out. And that taught me how to pray with other men. Because we had to pray every morning before we came in the kitchen, or we could not come in the kitchen for a week. And we did that. And like, we grew close. I cooked, Paul watched. Felix gave me a nice spreadsheet of how much stuff they had in the freezer so I can cook. I mean, like, y'all, detail, pounds, cuts, everything. That's what he's an engineer. And that's like the kind of people we have in here, right? It's like the books say we are undisciplined. They didn't say we were stupid. So I came here and I was broken, and I'm still not completely repaired. Under construction means that I have room to grow. And I'm okay with being unfinished right now. Because as long as I'm not finished, that means it's so much more growing I could do. And my experiences here, like as a peer mentor, I hated peer mentors. I hated them so much. But then when I got on the opposite side of that door and I saw that's the hub. That's what I call it. It's the hub. Everything goes on in there, from the job assignments to us counting how many meetings the guys go to. You didn't tell me how many meetings I went to. I know I went to a lot. I feel slighted a little bit.
You went to 490 meetings.
Make it, but not all the time. 'Cause some people come to meetings and they be drunk. So I don't know if that's making it or not. They made it to a meeting. But like, it's a lot of people that this shit belongs to, not just me. Some of us had made it. Like, when you out getting high, you don't realize that so many people die. But when you get sober and they start to hang that black flag up week after week after week after week, you realize some people are missing. And I don't want to be one of those people on that detox wall. I know a lot of people on that wall, a lot of young people, a lot like young people. And it's humbling to be able to say that, you know, God said the same on the 1st of January, I have 18 months clean. So that's something I would have never, you know, thought I could say. And you know how Paul was saying, them people that would normally not mix, you know, and of course Markel's my bestie.
You know that.
But like, one person, he wasn't my sponsor, but I leaned on him a lot. He was always the voice of reason for me. And like Bruce, like, I couldn't stand Bruce. I couldn't stand him. And all he wanted for me to do was stop crying to him. I've been crying. Like, he was like, Scott always crying. I think I cried for like 2 months straight the first time. And I cried for everything though. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when we watch Wakanda Forever. It's just me, like I cried. And I owe a lot of things to him, because like sometimes he talked me off ledges and sometimes he told me to jump. And you gotta have a friend like that to where, like, even when I'm wrong, he'd be like, Chica, you're wrong, bro. Like, reel it in. And then Mr. Dickens, like, I remember the first time I was here, I was like, that man did not like me. But the more I got to know Mr. Dickens, it's like, he like Mr. Rayford. You gotta know him to love him. and you gotta hate them a little bit first. Miss Wendy. Talk about like a mentor. I could talk to her about anything. She always gives me good advice. She always supports my decisions. You know, and I couldn't have made a lot of decisions without her making me believe that I could go for it. Like think outside of the box. And she allowed me to think outside of the box, gave me some experience. I never thought I'd be an author, right? I wrote recovery stories to post on Healing Transitions website. Miss Wendy gave me the opportunity to do that. She saw something in me that I didn't even know existed, you know, and I did that after my tour in the planning room as a peer mentor. Then I went do a couple more months with Miss Wendy. And man, I'm just grateful today. I can't say it enough. Like, I'm so grateful. This once broken 120-pound guy that came in here, 120 pounds. My doctor told me the other day I gained 90 pounds. Since the first time she saw me. And that's 5 months of working in the kitchen. And I've been blessed with the opportunity. Today I filled out my onboarding paperwork and I am now a Healing Transitions employee. So y'all lay y'all stretch your pants to work. Because you're gonna need them. And if you're on the keto diet, I'm sorry in advance. But y'all, I couldn't have done it without every one of y'all in here. Everybody, like from like net ones to detox clients, like Kurt Long. Like when I was in detox, Kurt Long came sat next to me in detox, right? I'm out there hallucinating, jacked out of my mind. And Kurt sat next to me and he said, if you do this thing, I'll do it. Whoa. That was his exact words to me. And now Kurt to CTR2, you know, I'm up here giving a silver chip. Good God. You know, and I can't, like Paul said, like my relationship with God, I struggled. I struggled. Was raised Catholic and like I wanted my version of God to be like everybody else's, you know. And I had to create a personal relationship with a God that I understand and who understands me. And like I was told to slide all my shoes under the bed. So in order for me to get my shoes, I had to kneel down so that way I pray. And I did that for a long time until it just became something normal to do. And I think I talked enough. And what? Oh, never mind. I got a few more things. Like y'all, I've been having this friend right for 20 years, right? 20 years. 20, yeah. And like I didn't know she was gonna be here tonight, and she has.
You've been through it.
I put her through a lot. It was not easy being my friend. It was not easy being my friend, and I'm grateful for her today. I'm grateful that Nikki's here. I'm grateful that Sam's here. My mom's here. Yes. My great sponsor, y'all. It takes a lot. It's a job. They should pay y'all for it. I'm telling you. But man, I love y'all. And if y'all just getting here, or if y'all been here for 1,000 days, William Lefton Gallis, it's working. And I know it's working because people keep showing up here and people keep picking up silver chips. Thank you. All right.
Last alumni we're gonna be recognizing, Mr. Sean Foster. Guys, they left, but they came back and finished what they started. They made a commitment and they finished their commitment. Sean first arrived at Healing Transitions in 2003, but he left and he returned in July of 2021. And he left again, but he was in CTR 2. So he came back and got voted into alumni status. He got some help from some of his peers. So while here, he was addressed on attitudes such as poor job performance, not following the guidelines, and intimidation. Some of the help he received is 2,000 words, why my program is my first priority. Chair 3 2001 meetings, a verbal roster check, clean up after 2001 3 times, and also a silent roster check. And can you imagine if you got 60 guys or 50 guys and you got to go to each one of them guys and let them talk and you listen? That's what he had to do. So Sean was here a total of, well, he attended over 445 meetings and he was here a total of 330 days. Please help me welcome Silver Chip alumni, Mr. Sean Foster.
Good evening, family. First of all, I'd like to give honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. You know, when I first came here, the night before I came here, you know, I was out there, I was getting high, living in my car, and I made a conscious decision. I got to go and get myself together. Now, I came here when it was the Healing Place in 2003, right? And I only stayed a couple weeks, you know, and then I left. But I never forgot that there was a place that I could come to get some help, right? So I chose to come here. So July of 2021, I called my brother-in-law and I asked him to come pick me up and take me to the Healing Transitions because I didn't know that they had changed the name. And so my brother-in-law, he, you know, brought me here, and I was living in Wilson. I live in Wilson now. But I came here, and my mindset when I came here is, you know what? I am sick and tired of this disease taking over my life. For once, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do what they asked me to do. For once, I'm going to put my best foot forward. Right. And I'm one of those guys, man, I'm really not a jokey guy because, right, in my addiction, I laughed a lot and I joked a lot, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like a teenager, not even really understanding what life is all about. I can't do it, right? I have to be serious about life because there's a disease of addiction that's trying to take my life. That's trying to take all of our life that is an addict, right? So I have to get serious and I have to be serious and understand that, you know what, for me to stay on this side of the track, then I have to do the tools that the Healing Transitions and that the Word of God has given me, right? And they weapons. For me, they weapons. They weapons. You know, I don't go to no neighborhoods that I ain't got no business in. And when I talk to someone, right, and I can recognize it, you know, when I talk to people and they on that little slick tip, right? Like they purpose is not for my best interest, but what they can get from me to draw me back from where I came. I ain't doing that. You know, I'll tell a person quick, you know, if you're not about trying to get clean, I ain't even trying to hear it. You know, and people be like, well, Sean, you shouldn't be that hard. Well, you know what? There's an enemy out there that don't even care. You know, there's an enemy that's really trying to take our life, y'all. And I can't afford to, man, I can't afford to get that joker an inch because the book says that that enemy is powerful, cunning, and bad. I can't afford to play with that enemy, y'all. I am a grandfather and I have kids. I have little nieces and nephew, you know, and I feel as though I have to be there for them now that I can to make up for the time that I wasn't there then.
That's right.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, this disease of addiction ain't no joke. It's killing us. You know, I mean, there's young men and women taking these drugs, these pills for the first time with this fentanyl thing going on, and they dying the very first time they use it. I can't afford to play, y'all. Thank you, Mr. Dickens. Thank you, man. When I lay my eyes on Mr. Dickens, I'm one of the ones that, now I'm from Baltimore, and I'm one of the ones that I needed hard and I needed rough. You can't pat me. I ain't gonna get it. You cannot pat me. No, you got to knuckle up with me, right? So Mr. Dickens is one of those ones that when I heard his voice, I was like, oh yeah, he don't play. He don't play, right? And so hearing him even teaching class and no matter where he at, it don't matter where he at, he on the healing transitions, if he talking, you gonna hear him, right? And so for me, that gave me what I needed. You know, that voice put me in check. That voice put me in check. You know, man, I just thank God for you, man. I really do. I really do. Jarvis, man, thank God for Jarvis. Now, how Jarvis play a part in my recovery is that when I went to Enterprise, and this is for you ones that's going to go to Enterprise. Man, listen to what Jarvis say, man. He's been doing this thing for up 10 years, man. Listen to him now. Yeah, I knew how to move. I know how to move furniture and all that, right? But I said to myself when I got there, I'm going to forget everything that I know, and I'm going to listen to exactly what he's saying there. Sometimes it just seems like, well, you want me to pick this up and put it over here, but then go get that and put it right there when I just could have took that and put it where it's going to be, right? I did exactly what he said. And even today on my job, me having the willingness to listen to what he has to say even helped me today. It helped me to follow instructions. You know what I'm saying? It helped me to do exactly what the manager says do and the way that the manager tells me to do it. And in return, I get a good report on that, you know? So I just thank you, man. Mr. Rayford, his instructions to me was watch the program. Watch the program, right? Watch the program. And he didn't tell me what he meant by that, but I learned watch the people. Remember, I told you that some people come to you, they really don't mean you no good. Okay, watch the program. So I linked up with brothers that meant me some good. Yeah. The Bruce Ziegler's, the Brett Millers. Yeah, that meant me some good. That was genuine in what they was trying to pour into my life. Y'all, these tools, the 12 steps, the 12 traditions, y'all, they are tools to battle this disease of addiction. Take these tools. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I was here for 11 months, but it don't even feel like 11 months. It go by so fast. And the only reason why it seems like it takes a long time, because you're here because you don't want to be here. Your body don't want to be here. You don't want to do the things that they ask you to do, but hey, I heard him say a whole lot of times that you in somebody else's house. And when you in somebody else's house, you have to abide by their rules. You have to abide by their rules. Now, the God of my understanding, even when I left here, the God of my understanding still give me rules that I have to abide by them if I want to be in his good graces. I'm telling you, y'all, this thing ain't no joke. It is for real, and it's killing us. And so here at Healing Transitions, we have a choice. We can either choose the life or we can even choose death. What you've done in the past, if you just get here, man, just stick and stay. Just stick and stay. It ain't gonna be no long time. And I'm gonna tell you something about being clean and sober, getting over the healing transition hump. Is everything that I have experienced, and I know I can get a lot of witness on this. A lot of things that I experienced being clean and sober ain't nothing but good stuff just been happening After one after another, just good stuff. You don't want good stuff in your life. All that substance. So I want to thank, man, just my family, Shell Jones, Gerald Jones. Those are the two people that came up here to visit me, brought me food, they took out their time to come and see me, to support me, and I'm grateful for that because y'all, I'm gonna tell you, this disease of addiction, it will make some family members turn against you. Not because they want to, but it's because of the disease of addiction and the activity that we do allow them to turn their backs because they don't know what else to do. And when you have family members that stick by your side, man, that's just something to be grateful for. And I'm very grateful, very, very grateful. The last thing I want to say is that I do have a young lady in my life, and I just want to just thank her. And I know she's watching on YouTube. I just want to thank her for choosing an addict like myself because it's hard. It's hard. You know, I think about being in a relationship with a crackhead. Oh man, that's hard right there. You know, I mean, real talk. That is hard. You know, but to have someone to trust you and believe in you, to walk by your side, to be willing to walk by your side, that's just a blessing within itself. So I would just like to tell her that, in the words of Tupac, cool. You're against the world, baby. I was thank the people that I came in the program with. I don't even know, and I hope everybody that come through the program experience this right here, man. But the guys that I come through the program with, they seem to be leaders. I mean, just leadership. Bruce, Brett, them, just leadership position, which encouraged me to make me feel good. Brett helped me out. He called my job because I needed to get my license in order just to have my license, right? So Brett called them and my old manager talked to me and he says, "But Sean, don't you want your job back?" Oh, I said, "Yeah, well, yes, I do." He says, "Well, okay, well, we're not gonna have you on the roof. We're gonna have you driving." I says, "Okay." You know, and like Mr. Dickens said, man, it is a second chance. And these people, they don't look down on me. These people, they treat me just like the next employer that they never picked up a drug in their life. And I'm very grateful for that. You know, I deliver up and down the East Coast, And they even give me an unlimited credit card. They gave an unlimited credit card. And I'm just grateful for that. I'm telling you, what helps me, what really, really helps me is that I am determined just to be honest. Just to be honest. With the credit card that they give me, I don't do no more than what they tell me to do. With their vehicles, I don't go nowhere that I ain't supposed to go. You know, they asked me when I was petitioning, why don't I go to any meetings when I'm out of town? So the reason why I don't go to many meetings because where they tell me to deliver this product at, that's where I deliver it to. I go straight to the hotel and I use Zoom for our meeting. And the reason why I do that because I don't want to have to call them and say, you know what, well, I went to a meeting, but then when I came back to get in the truck, won't no tires on the truck. You know, I can't afford to have that kind of report going back to them when they trust me with $34,000 vehicle. You know, so man, I'm just grateful for the healing transitions. I'm grateful that my peers seen it fit for me to be a part of the healing transitions. I will continue to come back and I will give to the healing transitions as much as I can because they gave to me. Thank you very much.
Everybody, my name is Jason Sexton. I'm the transition case manager here at the Men's. Also, silver tip number 544. So I work with the men in CTR2, which is the transitional part of the program. These men are either doing a commitment to give back, looking for work, or working and saving money for recovery housing. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to recognize those men that have made it to CTR2 since the last ceremony. They're going to come up real quick. I'm going to give them a copy of the detox picture, and then we also have a tradition here. The thought behind it is then when we're out there in active addiction, we lose a lot of our marbles. So we're going to let them have one of the marbles back. That's right. One at a time. First man is Damon Branch.
Get a pretty one.
So the next man would be Paul White, but he's unfortunately sick right now. So we'll get him on the next ceremony, though, okay? So next up is Albert O'Neill. Timothy Reardon. Jonathan Hill.
I love that guy.
Joshua McKinney.
Hi, Josh. What up, dude?
Paul said to me, he said, 1,000, the number of times William Dickens said change maker tonight.
See how many we get.
Yeah. So, hey, we still got some stuff to do and some stuff to celebrate tonight. Okay. So every December at this transition ceremony, we make it our holiday open house. And we have nominations for different categories. And these nominations come from staff, participants, alumni, people in the community. And so we're going to be recognizing our community partner for the women's campus, community partner for the men's campus, our employer ally, our volunteer of the year for the men's campus, volunteer of the year for the women's campus, and our staff member of the year. And then we're going to transition into our board recognition and some employee recognition. So first off, we're going to start with the community partner of the year for the women's campus. I'm going to invite Amanda Day to come up to recognize and acknowledge TechniQuest. And while this is up here, you will see a list of all those who received nominations from, again, staff, participants, alumni, and the community.
Dad, it's me introducing you. So I'm Amanda Day, and I'm also silver chip number 267. So I said that I wasn't gonna like try to write anything, but I would just ruin it that way. So I try to speak from my heart. So basically, when I came into this program, we were trudging, and in order to get to the trudge, you have to ride in the van for the women's campus, and it was really hot and the air wasn't working. And you know, selfish and self-centeredness, you know, my dad owns a mechanic shop, and I got to go with Gina, and I was like, you know, what's going on with that? I think I wasn't even trudging at that point anymore. And I just kind of let her know, like, hey, you know, my dad's always been there for me as far as cars go. So, you know, I'm sure he would be willing to help. And my dad has been, I had a paper with a bunch of, I'm so sorry. Can I get this? I know. Okay, I'm so sorry. Leave it up to me to do that. So I just wanted to also just recognize that, or just read a couple of the things that some of the people had mentioned about my dad and his shop. So and it's not just me. So Charles Day and his business contributes a lot for HT. He is very supportive to HT in recovery. He has been committed for over 2 years with helping us at Healing Transitions get back and forth from meetings to doctors, from meetings and to doctor's appointments. Honest, reliable, donated a lot of money to fix the HT vans for the past time, and helps alumni with fixing their vehicles. And they have helped so much with our vehicles in the past and are always willing to help answer car questions and give us a more than fair price. So I was going to say also too, like just going through the program and leaving there. So I've always had people, you know, kind of call me and like say, you know, hey, is your dad available? You know, do you think he could help me out? You know, it's just one of those things where I've always wanted to, you know, give back. And, you know, me personally, like, I know that I do what I can, but if my dad, you know, this is the place that gave my dad his daughter back. So for him to be able to be helpful to people that are trying to get back on their feet, and, you know, be able to get back and forth to their job that they have, and be able to be successful. That is what it's all about. And so this is the Community Partner Award for Techniquest, which is his shop. That might help.
Okay, I'm going to invite Jahi up to recognize the Men's Community Partner of the Year, which is A Place at the Table.
Good evening, my name is Jahi, Silver Chipper 793. I've been asked to present the Community Partner Award to the Place at the Table. I did bring notes. There was a lot I wanted to say, but I won't say. But Carl Sagan says that, who are we if not measured by our impact on others? And as the Healing Place each year, you know, hands out Community Partner Awards, Volunteer Year Award, staff and employer allies. And last month, there were a number of boxes out in the lobby, you know, each classification. And I voted, you know, I placed my vote for A Place at the Table. I first became aware of A Place at the Table in 2016, 17. At that time I was going through the program. We used to have to trudge downtown to the soup kitchen to eat. And I heard about this place called A Place at the Table. And it immediately spoke to, I guess, my subconscious. Place at the table, just the name, A Place at the Table. So people were trying to tell me where it was, but because, you know, we're on a time, you know, we have to do certain things in a certain time frame. I never had a chance to go check it out. But once I transitioned out of the transitions, a friend of mine Saturday asked me, do I want to go volunteer at place at the table? I said, no. She asked again next Saturday, do I want to go volunteer at place at the table? I said no. The third time she asked, I said, come on, let's go to the place. So as a result of that, I ended up volunteering twice with her. Separately, I went and ate on my own, paid for my meal. But the name has always stuck with me about a place at the table. Because early in recovery, at least, especially early in recovery, as we're here in healing transitions and going through our daily routines and trying to get our balance and set a foundation for recovery, I felt disconnected from normal society. And then again, the name spoke to me. And after I did relent and go volunteer and check, went and ate there, I felt like this person, whoever they were, had tapped into a universal principle. I didn't know at the time that it was pay what you can. But since then, I have learned that it's pay what you can. And again, that speaks to me. It's like of all the restaurants that we can go to on a daily basis downtown Raleigh, my thought has always been, how much do we really enjoy the meal with them when in any direction you look, you can see homeless. People carrying bags in different states of addiction or alcoholism. So the business model of itself of pay what you can or pay it forward or volunteer, I mean, to me, speaks to the idea of community. There is no separation. We may go through life thinking that economics separate us or education separates us. But Miss Maggie Kane, director of the Place at the Table, has shown that it doesn't have to be business as usual. We can serve the full community. And for anyone who's able, whether they're homeless or not, who has the ability to stand, walk, or just stand in line for their meal, they have the ability to volunteer. So it serves, it's one of the few models I feel like serves everybody. There's no way around it, and the food is great. I love the turkey food. Along with Ms. Kane's pay what you can business model, over the last 3 years, she's helped the healing transitions in the yearly Oakwood 24 event. She's raised a total of $54,000. Walked the full 24. Walked the full 24 hours the last 3 years. It says a lot. And in closing, speaking to the business model that she's chosen to bring about in her restaurant, they say birds of a feather flock together. And, as I stated, there are many restaurants downtown. And birds of a feather flocking together is a metaphor for people with similar likes. You'll find them together, things of that nature. Well, hawks don't flock, falcons don't flock, eagles don't flock. I mean, they're birds, but they have a higher vision. And to me, this is what Miss Maggie Kane has brought about in her pay what you can business model. And on behalf of the healing transition and its participants, I'd like to thank the Place at the Table.
everyone. I want to start with, I'm incredibly nervous. I have never thanked this many people before in front of my face in my life. So please bear with me. I joined a Place at the Table about 10 months ago. My name is Amanda Wicker. I'm the cafe manager over there. And I'm there about 5 days a week managing the daily operations and seeing so many of you incredible faces that I see in this room right now. Healing Transitions is incredible. Y'all really mean a lot to me. I don't really know how to describe how much y'all mean to me, but just coming into this first nonprofit world and seeing all these incredible human beings walking through the door each day. And then furthermore, on top of that, having a partnership with Healing Transitions and seeing all the good that comes from that and the amazing stories and lives every day really truly means a lot to me personally as someone that has family members that are going through recovery. Super special place in my heart for y'all. But yeah, for those who don't know about Place at the Table, we're a nonprofit pay what you can cafe. We provide meals regardless of means. And just like the back of my sweatshirt says, all are welcome. So everybody in this room, come check us out if you have it, and please come in when you can. Thank you so much.
Before I forget it, again, I want to just recognize Jackie Sanders, who designed the recognitions that are being handed out. And I'd like to invite William to come recognize our employer ally, Ford's Produce.
Again, here I am. And I really have enjoyed the ceremony tonight, and I've been speaking from my heart. Truly, I'm speaking from my heart. And one thing about recovery, it gives you back your feelings and your emotions. So as James Brown said, it don't make me less than a man to cry. And a lot of times early in recovery, when you first leave here and you start looking for jobs, it's not easy. So when you get to a place where you can get a job and somebody welcome you in, I'm telling you, it's a great thing. I worked at Ford's Produce for 7 years, and I mean it from my heart. I truly love the Ford family. I wouldn't have never left Ford's Produce. I worked my way up from just a regular stock person up to warehouse manager. And I told him, and I meant it, if it wasn't for coming back to Healing Transitions, I would be there right now. I mean, I have never worked at an organization where I have been shown so much love. I mean, the way that they treated me and the way I see them treating other people, they have gave jobs to so many of Healing Transition, Healing Place, because it was the Healing Place when I started working there in 2002. Some of the things I used to see Mr. Ford do, I tried to do them here. I used to watch how he used to put his ink pen down before he left work. So when he come in the next morning, it would be right there. I watched him. I watched his wife. I watched his sons. I just watched how they was, because when I first got there, like I say, I was 43 when I got here. So when I got there, I was about 44. And I have always worked, always had a job. So I was brought up with good, honest, hard work. And I learned that from them, that all they wanted was me to come there and put in a good, honest day's work. That's all they asked. And I tell you, man, when I heard they had been nominated as Ally of the Year, as the Ally of the Year, Employer Ally. Y'all see I'm not that smart a guy. It just does my heart so good. You know what I mean, man? These people are my family. I talk to my family about this. So, you know, sometimes, and I'm not saying we do, or we doing it now, do things for different reasons. But I'm telling you, to stand up here and give Ford Produce this award is something that William Dickens gonna carry with him. They're part of my recovery. It's just how it is. They are part of my recovery. Because for them first 7 years, if I wouldn't have had a place like Ford's, and I had a son, Lennox Chase Apartments, Ford Produce, Healing Transition. That's all I did probably the first 7 years, go to church. So I just want to thank y'all. And I guess I'm up here to, what am I supposed to be doing? Well, been tired. It's been a long day. But I want to award y'all the Employee Ally of the Year.
We're extremely proud of William. We're extremely proud of the work he does here. When he came to us, he did stay with us 7 years, and he came to me and said, it's time for me to go, because this is what I want to do here. I was very proud of him. I still am. Good guy. Thank you. It's really important having folks that will hire individuals like us. So thank you for playing such a critical role in that next step of the recovery process. I would like to invite Sarah to come up to introduce Laura Dellavecchia, our Women's Campus Volunteer.
First, I just want to thank my higher power for allowing me to be part of an organization so powerful and that transforms so many lives. Tonight, I have the honor and privilege of presenting Healing Transitions Volunteer of the Year. Laura Dellavecchia has consistently dedicated her time and love to the women at Healing Transitions for the past 8 years since her daughter stewardship the program. You are guaranteed to see her face on the serving line faithfully every Tuesday afternoon. Laura takes her time to get to know all the ladies on a first name basis. Her compassion and dedication has reassured me that the steps I'm taking to better my life is noticed. Laura, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Good job, Sarah. All right, and I'd like to invite Felix. Hey, there's lots of things to celebrate. You got Maria Spalding back healthy again. And we got Miss Carol back healthy again. Come on up, Felix.
I brought notes because I go on tangents and there will be more than 1,000. But I am really grateful to be here today. So when I hear the word volunteer, I think of the following characteristics this person brings to our home here at Healing Transitions: humbleness, passion, fearless, patience, loving, and caring. So I looked up some of the benefits that a person gets from volunteering, right? It increases self-confidence, combats depressions, and helps you to stay physically healthy. I feel like Miss Carol was not the only one that benefited from these, right? There was many days that I was depressed and I wanted to get out of here, and seeing her in that line made me stay. Seeing this, there were some days that I didn't want to work in the kitchen. I was ready to get out of there. I was ready just to give up and go back out again. And seeing this beautiful lady go out there and serving and smiling. But most important, so we have a thing here with UNHT. We write letters to inmates. They don't know us, right? So there's been an ongoing thing for a longest time. We write about student strength and hope and what our life is here. There's a lot of people that are thinking of coming here. Well, this lady does not know about this program, but she's been doing it to us. So Miss Carol, if you have gotten an envelope with a lot of stickers, it's from Carol. There was a long period of time here at HT that I did not get any mail from my family, right? Like they were all gone. There was a lot of times that letter kept me here. You know, she also gave me a llama, Minnie and a Mickey for Valentine's, and actually Chris has a replica of the llama, same one. I feel like she brought the benefits and gave it to us. You know, when her name is spoken, it's always followed by she is so loving. She is feisty. And she got sick, y'all, and she was missed. She was missing that line. She is here every single day. It looks like every day now. I got to meet her when I worked in the kitchen and her favorite thing. She just wrote me one this week letter. And it says, you're so special, you're so dear and special to me. And Ms. Carol, it is my honor and my pleasure to tell you, you are special to me as well.
Can I flap my gums for a minute?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to try to make a long story short, but this is really impossible for me. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? I worked at the State Farmers Market for years. And I was privileged enough and honored enough to work with the most wonderful individual I've ever met. In fact, he's my best friend. His name is Warren Midget. I'm one of these that's nervous, Nelly, you know what I mean? Well, you know, everything has to be done in the New York Minute and all this. I mean, you know, get out of my way. Don't, you know what I'm saying? But I said, Warren, I want to, on my days off, do some more work, but I want to do volunteer work. But I said, you know how dumb I am with a computer and anything mechanical. I mean, so many people that could bail me out with my phone all the time. If you get a text and it's right, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And then especially at work, if you ordered fried chicken with the computer and you didn't get a hot dog, that was a big deal. That was the extent of my knowledge of that stuff. So he said, well, I said, but you know, I'm done with the computer and all that. He knows how dumb I am because he's always bailing me out. But he said, I said, I'd like to work at the healing, he said, the healing transition. He said, you'd be good there. I said, well, if, you know, there's not mechanics involved, you know what I'm saying? So he said, well, I'll get up with Chris. Now, Chris is a regular customer over there, so I knew Chris. I mean, it's the State Farmers Market Restaurant, so nice guy, by the way, folks. But, I mean, really nice guy. I mean, I just thought I'd throw that in there. But, anyway, to get to the point, Warren said something to Chris, and Chris called me. And he says, yeah, we got something for you, Carol. We'd love to have you over here. So to make, well, this is funny, a long story short, they put me on the line to serve the men. Oh, honey, I never saw such cute little devils in all my life. I mean, you know, I don't care if I don't get a penny for this. This is worth it. I enjoy it so much. It isn't, it's fun and it's a pleasure for me to serve these young men. It truly, seriously, they are so respectable and kind to me and appreciative. And I just can't put into words. I love them to death, all of them. I wish I could. In fact, I question regularly if they like older women. You know what I'm saying? I might be old, but I'm not dead. I just want to thank you. I am so honored and overtaken by this award. I can't express it. I really, you mean the world to me, guys. Really. You're kind of cute. You like older women? I'll be in tomorrow with the grace of the Lord to serve you guys, and I can't wait. I can't really, I look forward to the days that I can come in. I really do. In fact, I told, or I didn't tell, but I asked Chris Butnick to try to get me a room here. I mean, I don't care if it's in the stock room. I'll be available 24/7. Okay. I did. All right. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Said we had a lot to celebrate, a little bit more than I do. Okay, it is my honor to recognize our 2022 Staff Member of the Year. As you can see, a lot of staff were nominated. Gina Martin has, for the 3 years in a row, received multiple nominations from staff, from her colleagues, from current participants, and from alumni, all speaking to the job that she does as the maintenance coordinator at the women's campus, but the job that she does tending to the recovery of the women. And it is my great honor and privilege to invite Gina Martin. Let's celebrate Gina.
Okay. Being recognized as Staff of the Year leaves me feeling overwhelmed with gratitude. This award means so much to me because it comes from the participants, the alumni, and from my fellow coworkers. This position is not simply a job, it is my family and my passion. As an alumnus of the program, my experience was beautiful and it helped me create meaningful relationships with lots of women. As an employee, I continue to create these bonds and watch other women grow other women on their journey to recovery. I love my job and the ladies at Healing Transitions. It is a true sisterhood and I'm honored to be a part of their recovery journey. Thank you.
Congratulations to all who were nominated and to all who were recognized for your special contributions. It's my honor to invite Evelyn Booker, our board chair, up to recognize some board members who are concluding their service to Healing Transitions as board members.
All right, Ms. Booker.
Everybody. I tell you, when you hear these young people come up and tell their awesome stories, it's just heartwarming. So Healing Transitions is definitely making a difference in the lives of people. I'm Evelyn Booker, Chair of the Board of Directors, and part of our responsibility is to be a team player and assist the staff and participants here at Healing Transitions. One philosopher said that success is not measured by your accomplishments, but by the accomplishments you help others to achieve. So you all are accomplishing great things. I'd like to recognize Anita Neville. Would you come up, please? A little bit about Anita. She was the first female silver chipper to serve on the board of directors. Anita served 2 terms from 2016 to 2022. In addition to bringing her experience as an alumna of the program, Anita was a voice for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging. She served on the nominating committee and led the initiative to create a board emeritus status. Thank you so much, Anita, for your service, your commitment, and your dedication. Thank you. As Evelyn mentioned, one initiative that we as a team on the board made manifest was to create the position of board member emeritus. Mr. Dickens mentioned the big 3 earlier in his presentations to us.
And the big three speaks about that dynamic trio who created Healing Place, who traveled across the country, who advocated here in Wake County government to create Healing Place, now Healing Transitions, for me and for you. Ladies who know me and those who are currently at Healing Transitions, I am Silver Chip number 54. And it has been my privilege to serve on the board of directors for Healing Transitions. Maria Spalding, would you come up for a moment, please? Maria Spalding is one of the dynamic three that we all talk about. Woo! Family, it is my honor and my privilege to make the following announcement and presentation on this memorable evening of celebration. The Board of Directors of Healing Transitions is proud to announce the election of Maria Spalding, Board Member Emeritus. The Board of Directors unanimously voted to amend its bylaws to reflect their ability to designate individuals with notable service and abiding best intentions for the prestigious status of Board Member Emeritus. Appropriately, as one of the co-founders of Healing Place of Wake County, now Healing Transitions, Maria Spalding will be the first to be designated Board Member Emeritus. The formation, foundation, and fate of Healing Transitions was a direct result of her leadership and tireless efforts to respond to the needs of a sector of our community in need of hope. For more than 2 decades, this community and beyond have benefited from the contributions of Maria Spalding. In her own words, one of the best days of my life was when we opened, and probably the most outstanding thing I feel like I've done in my whole career. I would never change it for anything, never. Family, Maria, on this, the 15th day of December in the year 2022, the Board of Directors, the Board of Trustees, our donors, those who live and work at both campuses, and our community at large recognize you, Maria Spalding, Board Member Emeritus of Healing Transitions, and we do so with honor and respect.
Thank you.
It is I'm very happy to be here. As some of you know, I have been very sick. I was very sick unexpectedly this year and ended up being in the hospital for 2 months. And half of that time, I was coma induced coma,
and not able to know a thing about what was going on. The surgeon and doctors told my daughter, Leanne, who's right here with me, that I would not live. They waited. Every day they were shocked to know that I was still alive. I have a tremendous testimony to the saving grace of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Lord.
He is my higher power. Just as you have testimonies in terms of your sobriety and your changing life. I had a dream that lives would change if we could just bring this place to Wake County. With the joint effort with Fred Barber and Barbara Goodman, we made a pact after we left Healing Place in Louisville, Kentucky. We made a pact, the three of us, on an airplane coming back to Raleigh, that we would, not if, we would bring the Healing Place to Wake County. After lots of lunches with business leaders in our community, we met with them one by one, asked for their commitment to help bring this place to Wake County. Because there were two things that prevented citizens in our county from being able to participate in the life and quality of a citizen here in Wake County. The two were poverty and substance abuse. There were only two, those two things prevented individuals from being able to be a part of the lives that many of us were enjoying in Wake County. It is my blessing that you are here. It is my greatest accomplishment that you are here. I am so grateful. I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you because you have beat something that has killed and ruined the life of many a person, many a man and woman. And you have made that untrue. Your life is not ruined. Your life has been captured. The qualities that you bring as an individual are part of our community. And I am so grateful for you. And just can't say enough about the hard road that you've come and the accomplishments that you have made. You are my heroes and my heroines. You bring me joy, bring me thankfulness. And I'm so grateful to be alive, to accept this honor, and to share with you how proud I am of you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Wisdom. The other young man that we have rotating off the board is Brad Turlington. Brad, could you come forward, please? Brad served 2 terms on the board, 2016 and 2022. During this time, he served on the executive committee, started and chaired our development committee, and served on the Recovery Can't Wait capital campaign steering committee. He has been active in the arena. That's the F3 workout at the He's suffering right now. And teamed up with Maggie King to raise over $54,000 for healing transitions over the last. I also walked the full 24 hours. Each year. Thank you so much for your commitment, your dedication, and your contributions to the board. Yes.
I also want to thank Ashley Jones, who couldn't be here tonight, but thank her for her service on the board. We are not offended if anybody goes to the bathroom. We're not offended if anybody gets up and leaves. I know this is long, but how long have we waited for dope? How long have your loved ones waited for you to find recovery? I'm sorry to say, we're not done. No, not offended if you leave, not an issue, but this is a night, may turn into a morning of celebration. We're not done celebrating. We've got 3 employee milestone recognitions to celebrate. So I'm going to invite Justin Garrity. Come up.
Justin Garrity, I'm the Director of Recovery Services in Silver Chipper 676. I have the honor of presenting the 1 year of service to Healing Transitions to Silver Chipper 217, Stephanie Pleasant.
Stephanie is the rapid responder team lead. If y'all don't know what the rapid responder program is, it is a post-overdose response team. So we send peer supports out with Wake County EMS to follow up with folks that have overdosed and try to link them to care. Stephanie has proven herself a leader, so she is in that team lead position.
She saved my life.
Saved your life. Hey, Corey. I don't think you're the only one in here either. In her year, she's provided 214 different people with linkage to some type of professional service, to food, clothing, hygiene, tents, tarps, and other supplies to help those who are living in the woods. And she's given out a bunch of harm reduction supplies to keep people safe and alive. 1,406 units of naloxone is what she has handed out amongst 124 people. In the past 2 weeks, she helped the team take 10 pounds of used syringes off the streets. 362 appointments with different places like Carolina Outreach, Southlight, Morse Clinic, Advanced Health, Wake Smiles, and a bunch of other places. And she's got 94 different people to one of those places. 82% of those folks showed up to the appointment. That's a big deal. A lot of folks that make appointments here don't show up. So. She's got 43 people into one of our detoxes. She is not waiting for people to show up here. She is going out and getting them. Care and compassion from those living on the streets or those needing help with substance use. She has the vigor and vitality of Miss Carol going after those young men in the kitchen. 4,463 outreach attempts in the past year. 55% are effective outreach attempts. That's a huge number. That's really big. She doesn't just, when she has free time, she volunteers with the Never Use Alone hotline. That is a hotline folks can call if they are going to use drugs, and where a peer support is on the other line. They talk with the person. If the person goes out, she calls emergency responders and reports an unconscious person. And I believe she saved a couple lives doing that too. So she's doing much more than stellar work. She is more than a good employee. She is an elite level peer support, ripping people out of the grisly jaws of addiction. She is leading her team with grace, strength, and a cool confidence. She has two of the cutest dogs that people ever did make. And she's not slowing down. In fact, she's pushing the pace, not the stem.
She got your six. She got your six.
Go, Stephanie, come on.
I've been sitting beside him the whole time and I never see this piece of paper. You got me. It's been an honor and privilege just to be able to go through the program and to have the opportunity. I feel like whenever you live the life, the only reason why you make it up is to be able to pull somebody else out. Right? We can't forget where we came from. And I used for 20 years. Somebody else needs to use for 20 years too. Hey, let's give them a pair of socks, a blanket, food. But I didn't know, like a lot of people didn't know about a place like this, right? How is it that we could wake up every morning to be able to say, hey, here's some hope. You ain't gotta go here. There's other places. They ain't the last stop on the block, but let's get some help. Right? Or just be there to laugh or, make a best friend like Tina Martin. get put on 3 bands and hey, guess what? She's still my best friend, right? I'm grateful for all the people that have been leaders to me and helped mold me into this position. And thank you.
All right, once again, I know y'all tired of looking at me. I'm back again. I'm up here now to present 1 year of service to our planning room team lead, Mr. John Hubbard. A lot of times, as I heard before, a lot of times people first get here, me, John, Rayford, some of us in certain positions gonna definitely be disliked. Because we dealing with you from the beginning, and we the guys that had to sometimes do the discipline. I hate to say it, sometimes ask people to get their bags, cause it's guidelines. And our job isn't easy. So I wanna just thank John. Come on up, John. Planning room team lead at the men's, and I will tell you, me and him make a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Dickens. I just want to say that I've had a long life working in a lot of different fields, be it music, restaurants as a chef, the military, a variety of different things. This is the first job I've ever had that I wake up in the morning and look forward to going to. It's the first job I've ever had that when I leave, I know I helped change somebody's life. And I thank God for that opportunity. Thank you.
Well, here I go again. I know y'all getting tired. Bear with us a little bit longer. Bear with us a little bit longer. Like Chris said, think of how the family bear with you. Not only that, think how we bear with you. We don't rush you out. Yes, we do rush you out. What I'm saying is that don't act up too bad and sit out there and make all them faces. But remember, I got my glasses on. And even though Chris said you can go to the bathroom, we ain't mad with you. But I'll tell you one thing, me and John will remember you tomorrow. So go to the restroom, it's all right. Please just don't act up. Please just bear with us. Man, there's some powerful stuff going on with it. And I might hear about this later, but that's all right. I'll still see you tomorrow. So I'm up here now to present a 20 years of dedicated service to healing transition. Come on up here, right forward. When I got here, I would say one thing about Ray. In these 20 years, he's still the same Ray. He done got a little older, but I can tell you this, his dedication to recovery and his dedication to the men in this program. This man got so much love in his heart for the men here. It's just hard to explain. to a book, listen up. One time a guy called him, "Hey dude," and he stopped and said, "Wait a minute, my name is Ray. You got one time to call me dude again." He don't play, but I tell you this, nobody here loves nobody no more than this man right here. But he will take this plaque tonight and he will put you out of here tomorrow. So, not only am I up here to give you this 20-year plaque of service, the participants got together and they did this little booklet with a lot of your sayings in it, just to tell you how much they thought. Love you guys. How you doing? How you How you doing? I'm glad to see you here. That's right, but how you doing? How you doing, Rachel? First of all, I want to thank God for my understanding that all this here is possible. Next, I want to thank Chris, basketball, ping pong, but I got here on December the 18th, 2001. I finished the program. Once I finished the program, I came to assistant staff. It's the same thing as a pure mentor now. And I did a second term. And the last week of my second term, Chris asked me, I would like to work. And I'm telling you, that was a shock. Somebody come and ask me, how would I like to work? But I couldn't stay clean 20 minutes. That's more 20 years. But I got here, man, and there was so much love showed to me when I got here. You know, the gentleman that was working in detox when I got him, God bless his soul, let him rest in peace. DJ, he'll come to work every night on third shift. Under my bed because I sleep all day and be up at night. And said that I said, look, I ain't gonna be here on Christmas. I ain't gonna world, I'm gonna be here. He said, man, the best thing that you can give your family is to be clean on Christmas. So I stayed Christmas, I was clean Christmas. Got discharged from detox, started the program. Going to class, walking from here to South 1st Street. I left that one Monday. And I already made up in my mind, this is the last trip that I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna do all that walking. I'm not gonna do that. But then I was sitting in class and see like something touched me on my back and said, where you going? Because I had built up every bridge that I had before I got here. And thank God that I did. If there was anybody that said, you can come to my house, I'd probably been standing here talking about that. So God do works in mysterious ways. You know, and got here, man, I think I was here about 3 months before I actually made my mind up and said, this is gonna be something that I'll finish. But I never finished nothing in my life. Nothing. Not even a prison sentence. Tell you, man, It was a journey going through here, man, but it was a good journey, I tell you that, man. I met a lot of good people coming through here. Met a lot of good people, man. By the time I finished the program, I left here, man, and had this job. And it'd be some days today, man, that I think, man, sometimes I say, man, I wonder. Chris had never offered me that job. And I still be here today. What I had left here, gone back outside and got a job. And started back using it. And I think this job will help me because I know I can't come nowhere down. So by the time that I got used to being sober, man, I just think this job helped me to be clean as long as I have, you know. So it's funny that I got here on the 18th of December. I think the next December was on the 16th when I got high. I know you keep up with it, is that right? Come on, man, boy. But I just want to thank, man, my predecessor, man, that came before me, like Wes, Glenn Williams, all them guys, man, came through before I did, man, and showed me the way, man. I know, dreaming of being clean. No dream that, man. I was raised up in an alcoholic family. You know, mother and father, man, I always said to myself, now I die, be an alcoholic. But I so thank God for having a better, maybe not. And all you guys, man, that come through here, I tell you guys all the time, man, I love every last one of you guys. And want you guys, man, to make it through them, man. Take your time, slow down, just listen, man. I always tell y'all can come to my desk and sit down and talk. From the time I get to work about recovery to the time I go home. Don't come telling me that you got a John Deere left. I'm not no maritime. No maritime. But William, I want to thank you, man, for being the guy you are, man. Justin, Miss Blue, Jason, Don, Tracy, all the staff, man. I want to thank every last one of y'all. And I want to thank every last one of you participants, man. You guys don't know, man, that you guys help me just as much as I help y'all. And I love every last one of y'all.
We are close, but we are here to do what?
Celebrate!
With that, I'd like to introduce Kirk Long.
Yes.
Introduce a brother in recovery. And thank y'all for helping me on my road to celebrate the life accomplishments of a man that I've grown to love more and more on a daily basis. My respect with all my heart. I share that with this gentleman who's a responsive. Bo, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Bo, and I am an alcoholic. And
well, after hearing all this tonight, all I can think is mercy and grace. Mercy and grace. You know, people talk about when we're out there and drinking and using, we're trying to fill that God-sized hole in our hearts with something other than God. Well, you all filled my heart here tonight, and I thank you for that. And I think I can go to bed sober because of it. Thank you. Biggest thing we heard about tonight was first word and first step, we, right? We talk about service, we talk about carrying the message. And you know, in the big book, it talks about that we are here to be of maximum service to God and to our fellow man. And there are a handful of people that I truly admire. And some of them have been recognized, be names that you have certainly heard that are other North Carolinians like Michael Jordan and Andy Griffith and Maya Angelou. Now we get to add to that list Bob Goodale. Now, what Bob doesn't know is that as of today, the 15th of December, he has been named an ambassador for the state of North Carolina under the order of the longleaf pine by the governor of Florida. Needs to come up, and Zach, I think you need to come up too because you have something to present him as well. So, Bob, where are you, man?
Hold on a second.
Here. It's the beauty shot, right? That's yours. And when you get home.
What is it?
This is a pen. I got my grandfather here. A little while ago, he gave me a pen. And I'm returning the favor. So, here you go. Yeah, Bob.
George Bernard Shaw Rose. This is the true joy of life. Being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. Be the force of nature rather than some sniveling little cloud of ailments. Complain that the world will not devote itself to making me happy. Be thoroughly used when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle, but rather a splendid torch which we have a hold of for the moment to make it burn ever more brightly before passing it on to future generations. Our life is no brief candle, is it? No. Heating transitions is no brief candle, is it? No. Rather a splendid torch which we have a hold of for the moment, which is ours to make it burn ever more brightly, isn't it? We're not done yet. I'll tell you a story. A young girl was walking along the beach. A beach that had been littered
with starfish that had been washed up there after an unbelievable storm. She was going along picking up each starfish and throwing it back. Folks that were watching her were amused. A man came along and he said, why are you, what are you doing throwing them back? You can't throw all them back. You can't possibly make a difference. And she was really, deflated. Thought for a moment. And she stepped up and picked up a starfish. And she said, I made a difference in that one, didn't I? The man that said that joined her. And then others joined her. And they cleaned up that whole beach. We're all starfish here, aren't we? Yeah. Every one of us. We've been washed up on the beach. And we've been picked up and saved, haven't we? Yes. The story of the starfish was told to me a year or so ago by Chris Mudnick, who then said, we're in the starfish business. This summer, I saw a photograph that I'd like to present to Chris. It's signed on the back by lots of folks. The title of this photo is Rockstar. Rockstar. Take a selfie.
Love you, Bob.
Love you,
Bob. Sit there. We're not done. So, because of a few things, we've got a lot to celebrate, but Bob has been such an inspiration and a gift that there is a limited edition, a 40-run production of the Bob Goodell Joy of Life calendar. So you can see Bob each month of the year with his infectious grin. Suggested price is $20. They'll be on sale in the lobby afterwards.
I'll give 1,000.
And while Teresa and Jason Sexton and Tracy Freeman and Jamie Elk all celebrated birthdays this week, there was one man that was born in 1933 and is celebrating its 89th birthday. His family is here to help celebrate. They can come out, and if you guys can get your lungs ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you. All right, we've set a record, longest ceremony ever. They'll be signing sign meeting sheets for 2 meetings after. And there are cupcakes in the lobby, and cake will be cut. Please stay in fellowship. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks much.
We have one here, next one.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. What's that?
Tell them how many you're hiring now.
Oh, yes, Mr. Dickens knows, yes. It's good to see you guys. My girlfriend's around here, that's why I wanted to introduce you.
This is a really nice event.
Yeah, this is the longest one I've ever been to, by far. We usually run about an hour, hour and a half. My friend Billy. Billy from Mr. Ford.
Thank you guys.
Nice to meet you.
I wear things that I use all the time.
I just told him, he's one of the reasons why we're hiding so many people.
I know. I'm so proud of him. I'm grateful for you guys. It's so much over there.
Me too, me too.
I keep asking him, where are we gonna go